Alright guys, forgive the state of my work table here. Got about 16 projects going on, and if I wait until I finish one to show you guys any of the videos, I'll never get anything done. I got this little spaceship going, I just painted a flying saucer, got to fix my car, I still got pumpkins from Jack vs. Lantern sitting here just waiting to be targets for my axe throwing and my archery. But today, I'm going to make this little ping pong eyeball a gory eyeball. And I'm heating up the glue gun right now. And one of my friends was making eyeballs online, and of course I don't have the talent they do to just like make eyeballs out of nothing. But I did kind of like the idea of a gory eyeball. And I had these ping pong ones I bought at the dollar store for Halloween. And I had cracked some open and used them on the pumpkin heads and stuff. And we're going to go ahead and use this one and try and gore it up a bit. So one of the things I've got is very little bit of leftover liquid latex. You will be seeing my alien tentacles back as red tentacles soon. I had mixed red paint into the liquid latex, so when it dries, it comes out this red color. To kind of make sure the latex goes where we want. Some of this is I don't have my baby powder down here. You'd want to powder your area to make sure your latex doesn't stick to your paper and your table and stuff. I've got this foam batting. This is left over from Lumber vs. Jack. I bought an embarrassing amount of this stuff to make the web set, and I actually still have some left. So I'm going to use this for our eyeball skin. I dropped my eyeball. You can hear it bouncing around like the ping pong ball that it is. Alright. So first things first, we're going to cut this. This is just a scrap piece that I already cut off of a giant. I have an embarrassing amount of it. Anyway, we are going to cut this so it tapers down like that and just give us some nice gooey, fleshy sockets and nerve endings and stuff coming out. And we'll do, this is 2 pieces, and maybe trim the shape that way a bit. And this stuff's very fluffy and not, it's not very solid or anything. It's very open fibers, so you can stretch it and stuff, but it's just a good vehicle for the latex to hold on to. Alright, so we got a bunch of pieces of this. Got our hot glue gun. Do a little bead of glue for each one. Not worrying too much about how messy the glue is right now. We're going to use these also to cover the seam. These ping pong ball eyes have that little seam right there. We don't want that showing too much. So we're going to do that. I'm getting paper all over this. I got gorilla hair everywhere too, from when I made the Krampus hands. I should have done a video for you guys for that. I will be doing a Monster Hands video fairly soon. I've got more monster hands to do. And keep in mind, guys, I'm not very crafty. I can't sew. So everything gets glued. And I don't have a lot of pattern experience, although I'll be doing some more of that. But if you see me doing something, those are not skills you need. You may want to keep your workshop cleaner, though. Do another piece here. Some gorilla hair stuck on there. I'm also using what's left of my dollar store glue. And, that stuff very stringy. So I'm going to be buying. If anybody has a suggestion for a really good low heat glue for a mini glue gun, please do let me know. Alright, so I'm only going to use 3 of those strands, and I'm probably going to trim some of these out. Because if I latex them together that way, they're just going to stick together. But so now, we've got our strands. You can see that laid out there. Yep. We're going to take our latex that's already pre-colored red. Try and get the lid off. I honestly don't know what this container was before I put the latex in it. But whatever it was, this has been months like that, and it's still got some liquid in there. I normally use a foam brush for this, but I've been painting with this regular brush. Be sure to wear a respirator or have plenty of We might even use some of these strands that just dried up as latex. Be sure to use plenty of ventilation. Yeah, I'm definitely good. Look at how nice and goopy that one is. We're going to stick that on there with just a little bit of itself. So, I'm going to latex this corner right here with our gooey, gory red latex. Just take this piece, stick it right on there. When that latex dries, that should become its own kind of adhesive. And then I'm going to lay these back out. And the thing is, if you're short on latex, thin them out before you put the latex on these foam strands. If you've got plenty, then, don't worry about it. Go ahead and latex them up and cut them afterwards. But the main thing is, in the end, you're going to want it to be fairly stringy. And again, this will dry. It's going on pink, but when the latex itself is no longer an element in the color, it'll dry red. I'm just making sure you guys are still recording. Yeah, see this piece I didn't glue on. I'm going to need to glue that on. That latex itself is not holding it. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, dollar store glue guns disappear for a while. And as the price of things like copper and such goes up, the cords get shorter. Because, the glue gun mechanism itself isn't what's expensive for them. It's the copper in the wire, and so the electrical cord gets shorter every time. So it pays to have an extension cord ready in your shop, which I did not have today. Now I'm brushing this on, and I'm realizing that because of what I'm putting it on, if I had decided to, I could have used like a spatula type of thing to spread it on this foam. Plastic fork, or a plastic knife or a plastic spoon, and what that'll do is the latex won't stick so much then to the application device, and you'll save a little bit of latex that way, because this foam batting will just suck it right up. You don't need to worry about it deciding to stick to the plastic instead of the batting. I'm getting plenty on the eye. That's okay. That's going to be our little feathered area between our latex entrails and our eyeball. And I'm going to stop here. You can see what I'm doing. And when I come back, hopefully this will be dry, and I'll show you how we're going to give it that wet eyeball glaze by stealing my wife's clear nail polish. All right, so I was right. These pieces were too thick, these on the batting. So I did wind up cutting them. I would have probably gone with these strands of just laying out some latex strips on like wax paper and peeling those off later, because they got that more veiny look I was going for originally. But if you want this prop to last a while, I also would have worn gloves because I got latex all over me. If you want this prop to last a while, I would definitely go with using the batting. Just get ready to cut it thinner as you go, because these strands will break real easily. And this batting latex, what happened was I went to peel some off because there was more than I wanted, and the ping pong ball eyes started to crack apart. So the latex was holding it that strong to the bottom half of the plastic. The other thing I did was I put a big old blob of glue. This is going to stick to itself in the center of the bottom of the eye here, so I could bring those veins together. I'll show you that after that dries a bit. But so if you want it to this is going to hold up like a good long time. Actually, this piece won't, because it's only got the latex on one side. The other thing I did is once this latex took hold and dried, you can see it dried much more red. If I can find it. much more red than the pink that it goes on wet. I peeled all this white extra bitty fluff off of it, so it'll be thinner in the finished product. Definitely work with good ventilation. I was really dumb for about 2 hours yesterday. I got my garage door open today. And I probably would have gone with the foam brush instead of something with bristles because the latex in this doesn't want to come out. But to be honest, I've been using this brush for a good while now. So expecting it to have anything left in it for today was something. But I will be back after this dried. It takes about 24 hours. It'll only be a couple of seconds for you. Alright, so this is it with the latex mostly dry now. This shaped out by how it was laying down, so it kind of keeps curling up. It's got a kind of neat Lovecraftian tentacle-dyed look to it. You see I still need to cover some of the white here, and then some of the areas here for gore. But what I want to do today and kind of get that done, this still looks very much like a plastic ping pong ball as an eye. And we want to give it some of that wet eye shine. So what we're going to do is, I just stole this from my wife, clear nail polish, and we're going to apply it right on here and see if that shines it up. And I will touch these up after that because the fumes from both are going to chase me out of here. We got to keep pausing my music there. So I don't know if you can see it now, but there should be a little bit of shine on there. Yeah, you can see it reflecting the light from behind it, which is what you expect from a kind of glassy eye. This is still wet, so we'll check back at it when it is dry. I'm also going to put some on the gory bits here so that they have that more wet blood look without us even having to put any blood on them. And it looks more freshly torn from a face. So I will let you know how that works out. So there it is. It's got the clear nail polish on it. And honestly, it did a better job on some of the latex and stuff, keeping some shine on it than it did the plastic. It almost made the plastic flatter, which was exactly not what I was going for. But we got these cool kind of gory bits, and some of them you can see where I got the shine on them to keep them looking like a little bit more fresh gore, no matter when you pull this thing out to use it. And I mean, you can see right there's a nice little, the light reflects off it on the sides and stuff. Parts of it, I guess on the colored paint, it kind of hazed over after it was dry, and on the white, it stayed nice and wet looking. These fake little veins are probably something you'd want to get rid of too. That came with the eyeball. But there you go. I mean, dollar store eyeball, I think it was 6 or 8 to a pack, and a bunch of little scrap bits of foam and some latex, and there you go. I don't know if I do a whole bunch of macro close-ups like this for a movie, but for a Halloween decoration, hang that on the Christmas tree for Halloween. Yeah, get the neighbors talking.